Kazakhstan is becoming more attractive to foreign businessmen every year. Investors choose to invest in the country due to its favorable investment climate, stability, and convenient working conditions. The paints and Pargeting manufacturing workshop in western Kazakhstan is one of the successful cooperation examples. The facility was launched by Bulgarian entrepreneurs and their Kazakh business partners. The total value of investments is recorded at 320 million tenge. Meanwhile, the capacity of a workshop in the Aktube industrial zone is 5,000 tons of output per year. There is no other similar enterprise in Kazakhstan. The production facility helps achieve a number of goals. The first is import substitution, as it allows us to manufacture competitive products in our region and supply them to the domestic market. Second, the project has been implemented as part of the industrial zone where the government created attractive conditions. German investors are also interested in expanding partnerships with Kazakhstan. In recent years, the companies have been involved in implementation of about 19 large projects in Kazakhstan in sectors such as construction, trade, industrial manufacturing, as well as field and mining development, worth nearly 2.5 billion euros. German investors are set to launch another project soon, which is the automotive parts and components plant. The enterprise will be constructed in Almaty region. There have been no similar enterprises in Kazakhstan before. We held talks with the German investors and they are ready to cooperate. The plant's construction will cost about 30 to 50 million euros. The United States Department of State conducted an analysis aimed to measure investment climates in various countries and recognize Kazakhstan as Central Asia's leader in this category. According to experts, Kazakhstan has demonstrated outstanding progress since gaining independence. Kazakhstan's gross income of foreign direct investments increased by almost 16% and totaled $24 billion in 2018. Meanwhile, the Kazakh government plans to increase the value up to $34 billion by 2025. The Kostanai region plans to increase exports to Russia. Today, the region delivers meat, dairy products, grain, sausages and pastries to the neighboring country. The increased demand for these products stimulates the expansion of existing enterprises. Thus, one of the dumpling shops in the Karabalik village has increased production by 40%. Over the year, more than 500 tons of meat are processed there. It produces 20 kinds of frozen, semi-finished products. Now the shop plans to increase its capacity and become one of the largest exporters. Staff of the company is confident that high-quality certified products will help them to maintain their positions both in domestic and foreign markets. We add no soy, additives, improvers and flavors. There is clean meat. Of course, this enterprise needs to be oriented towards Russia in order to become one of the exporters of the Commonwealth of Independent States. We offered our products to factories in Yekaterinburg. They tried our products and said that they are ready to take unlimited amounts from us. Kazakhstan is actively working to introduce new technologies in agriculture. This helps to increase productivity, product competitiveness, and attract investments in the industry. One of the American companies showed their interest in Kazakhstan's investment projects in agriculture. American entrepreneurs signed an agreement on construction of an irrigation plant. The project will help create a network of advanced farms. They will use modern technologies in the irrigation and fodder production. The volume of investments is estimated at $50 million.
Valmont Industries and our Valley Irrigation brand started center pivot irrigation over 73 years ago. So our founder was the first one to commercialize a center pivot machine. And since that point, we have spread those across the globe in places like Brazil, Australia, South Africa, China.
Experts are confident that the products of the new enterprise will be in great demand in the country where there are large planting and pasture lands.
В Казахстане на сегодняшний день находится 1,4 миллиона гектара орошаемых земель,
Today, there are 1.4 million hectares of irrigated land in Kazakhstan. By 2021, we plan to introduce another 600,000 hectares of new land. In general, by 2027, nearly 3 million hectares of the irrigated land should be put into circulation. For this purpose, irrigation is necessary and the equipment must be produced in Kazakhstan. The total investment is estimated at $50 million. The production volume amounts to 1,000 cars per year.
Общий объем инвестиций $50 миллионов. Объем производства порядка 1000 машин в год.
Farmers in Kazakhstan see positive results from agro-innovations introduced in the country. For example, space monitoring of crops is carried out in the Republic, which allows obtaining accurate information about conditions of soil, plants, and changes in weather. Today, almost 98% of the fields are covered by satellite online surveillance. Due to digital transformation, the farmers have an opportunity to grow crops that require close attention.
Осымен екінші, үшінші жыл қатарынан осы оңтүстік шығыста оңтүстікте егіп, осылардың тиімділігіне көз жеткізіп отырмыз. Соны қазір біз
In the southeast of the country, we have been sowing new varieties of grain for the past 2 or 3 years. We use the new equipment. We are involved in the selection and obtain good harvests. Previously, large areas in Kazakhstan were allotted for oats. We investigated this crop and planted 25 kilograms per hectare. We already know that we will get a high yield of the oats.
гектарына бар болғаны 20-25 килограммнан ғана егіп, жақсы өнім алатынға көз жеткізіп отырмыз.
There are more than 200,000 agro-formations and 177,000 farms in Kazakhstan. Experts are sure that by introducing the achievements in science, they will be able to bring the country's agro-industrial complex to a new level and increase export volumes. $7 million sturgeon fry will be added into the Ural-Caspian basin this year. The fishes are raised in 2 fish farming facilities in Astana region. Stellate sturgeon and sterlet fry were the first group to be released for free swimming. The fishes have grown and gained weight in 1 month and a half based on control measurements data.
Норма бойынша өсірілген бекіре тұқымдас балықтардың салмағы.
On average, the weight of the grown fish should be from 1.5 grams and more. This year, the sturgeon fry weighed 8 grams and more, and the sterlet weighed over 10 grams. This gives them more chances to survive in their natural habitat.
Өніп-өнуіне қолайлы жағдай жасайды.
Caspian member states are focusing on cultivating sturgeons. The countries plan to restore the reducing population of the fish type. Meanwhile, the process of caviar harvesting at a facility is being continued to grow sturgeon and beluga fry.
Атап айтсақ, 185 бас жаңа өнім беруге дайын.
In the Urals in spring this year, 185 sturgeon fish were caught, including stellate sturgeon and sterlet. The fishes were brought to the fish farm. We plan to obtain their caviars to breed them and grow the fry fishes. Sturgeon farming is a long process. The first spawning of stellate sturgeon starts when they are 7. Meanwhile, the first spawning of sturgeon is at 10 to 12, and beluga can have its first offspring only at 17. World's first synthetic gasoline production plant was built in Turkmenistan. The output of the facility meets the Euro 5 environmental safety standard. Based on estimates, the gasoline plant will process more than 1 billion cubic meters of natural gas and produce 600,000 tons of gasoline every year. I am convinced that the new plant is unique. The world's first conversion of natural gas into the liquid fuel in industrial scale starts here for the first time. The gas-to-gasoline project allows to produce high-quality gasoline with minimal energy consumption and environmental impact. I am happy that advanced Japanese technologies are making significant contribution to the industrial diversification and promotion of exports in the countries. According to experts, the use of synthetic gasoline is beneficial for the environment, as the sulfur content is 50 times less and the benzene content has been reduced by 3.5 times. The new fuel's aromatic content is lower by 20%. The first 60 tons of Eco 93 gasoline was shipped to Afghanistan as humanitarian assistance. The Turkmen plant received orders from other countries as well.
Этот бензин соответствует мировым стандартам Евро-5.
The Eco 93 gasoline meets the Euro 5 emission standard. This type of fuel is in high demand at the moment. We received shipment orders from various countries, including Greece, Romania, and many other countries. We are very pleased that our output is in high demand. Meanwhile, our cooperation with Kazakhstan is also rapidly developing. Our countries are united by the Caspian Sea, and as you know, Turkmenistan will host the first Caspian Economic Forum very soon, where the countries will establish closer cooperation. The project value is estimated at more than 1.5 billion tenge. The financing was provided by the Japan Bank for International Cooperation. According to experts, Turkmenistan has the world's fourth largest natural gas reserves. Hunting tourism is becoming popular in Central Asia. Currently, the Argali trophy hunting in the region attracts foreign hunters. Local officials in Kazakhstan are planning to issue mountain sheep hunting licenses to develop the hunting industry in the country. Hunters will be allowed to target only mature males that exceed reproductive age. Experts believe that this approach will help significantly increase the number of mountain deer. The wildlife conservation mechanism is being successfully applied in the United States, Canada, Mexico, and Africa. At the moment, the method is expected to be introduced in Kazakhstan. Meanwhile, scientific rationale and legal framework are being developed in the country. The trophy tourism will help to double the number of macropolo sheep in Tajikistan within 10 years. At the moment, there are about 17,000 mountain sheep of various species in Kazakhstan. The project initiators are planning to spend the revenue on conservation of rare sheep species. We need to conduct studies. We will buy collars to monitor the sheep. Later, we will perform genetic studies. After capturing the sheep, foreigners just need to keep the horns, while we will collect all other organs for research. This approach is being practiced in developed countries, and we want to apply it in Kazakhstan in order to increase the number of sheep.
The result of conservation permits are to enhance, expand, restore wild sheep populations and wild goat populations. In our interest, it's wild sheep and goats. But we also know that by restoring those populations, that's good for snow leopards, things like snow leopards that depend on those species as a prey base. So end result is healthier wildlife populations, better diversity.
Kazakh doctors will be provided with an access to the global clinical medicine data. Kazakhstan's healthcare ministry signed a cooperation memorandum with a British company, which is the world's leading supplier of medical data. The 3-year contract will allow the Kazakh practitioners to study and undergo training online. The information, which is available at special web services and applications, includes the best healthcare practices from all over the world, which will allow to diagnose patients with infectious diseases better, faster, and more accurately. Moreover, the British web service will provide the Kazakh doctors with an opportunity to undergo training without discontinuing work.
It's online, so it helps doctors at the point of care working in hospitals alongside other healthcare professionals. So it's based through a website and through an app, and it helps them learn. So we've got lots of learning modules in Russian and English that helps them understand more about these infectious diseases to early identify them.
Our doctors can visit the online services and learn about the new healthcare developments and scientific research that are available on the website, and they can introduce the novelties in their practice. Their activities should be monitored and they must be registered. There is a certain control, but this will allow the doctors to build capacity while still practicing. Summer school for ethnic Kazakh children living abroad was organized in Kazakhstan for the first time. Nearly 150 children aged between 12 and 17 arrived in Nur Sultan from Russia, Iran, Mongolia, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, and Kyrgyzstan in order to learn more about their ancestral land. Within 2 weeks, they will learn the Kazakh language, the history of Kazakhstan, as well as folk traditions and customs. The children are expected to attend robotics, design, leadership, and oratory classes. They will also have geography classes and will discuss the importance importance of the Great Silk Road for the Kazakh people. Moreover, the children will visit the major attractions of the young capital. The summer school was organized with the support of the Vatandastar Foundation and the World Association of Kazakhs.
Ең басты мақсат туған отанына деген, ата жұртына деген жалпы сүйіспеншілігін, патриоттық сезімді.
Our main goal is to boost patriotism and love towards the motherland. We also provide academic support for them to learn the Kazakh language and the history of Kazakhstan. The summer school's agenda also includes the craftsmanship, dombra and felt making classes.
Бөлек мына текемет тоқу секілді үлкен-үлкен өзіміздің қолөнерлеріміздің өнерлері, үйірмелері бар.
Ираннан келген қазақмын. Мен ең бірінші Қазақстанға келіп тұрғаным. Мен ең Қазақстанға келген мақсадым осы тарих.
I am a Kazakh from Iran. This is my first visit to Kazakhstan. I arrived here to learn more about my ancestral land and learn their language. I want to study in Kazakhstan and I highly respect my motherland.
Осы мысалы құрмет етіп осы еліме соған үшін Қазақстанға келдім.
Ykylas Dukenuly is a famous Kazakh folk composer, performer of kuy, and one of the founders of the Kobis school. His original works made the ancient musical instrument popular among people of the Great Steppe. The traditional kuys are given a new sound. In his work, the author displayed the true reality, feelings, and thoughts of people. He owns heroic epic and philosophical lyrical works such as Kaskir, Ykylas, Akku, and Kazan. In honor of the 176th anniversary of the birth of Ykylas Dukenuly, a creative musical evening in his memory took place in the capital. Granddaughter of the great Kuishi performed one of the musical works on the most ancient instrument, kobis. The organizers said that today the art of playing kobis is being revived in Kazakhstan, and it is important that the younger generation does not stop showing interest in the folk instrument. We think that the younger generation needs this. They need to know that our ancestors were not only warriors, but they were also musicians and composers.
Его роль вообще в казахской музыке в том, что он вот те вот...
He has an important role in Kazakh music. He turned sarins of Korkit into classical kuys and performed using kobis. Thus, he left Kazakhs the kobis legacy. Kobis does not belong only to Kazakhs. It belongs to common Turkic people. Even in the megalopolis, people want to listen to the sound of kobis.
Вроде вот в мегаполисе, а вот людям хочется слушать кобис, и это надо слушать.
The capital of Kazakhstan has become the center of attraction for stars of the world level. For example, Armenian world-famous opera singer Barsek Tumanyan, who was welcomed in Venice, Munich, Hamburg, Boston, and Los Angeles, now lives in Kazakhstan. The artist said that he didn't hesitate to accept the invitation to work at the Astana Opera in 2013. I saw the theater. It was very beautiful. Back then, it was a new theater. There was some kind of mysticism. There was a feeling that something was being prepared. Over the year, a lot of things had been clarified for me. There were the new theater and the new forces. The new creative, fundamental, beautiful theater was being created. We wanted everyone to say, we want our theater to become worldwide. In one word, the best forces were joined.
Одним словом, подключились все, наверное, лучшие силы.
Each appearance of Barsek Tumanyan on the stage is met with instant response. The artist can fascinate the audience. He has a rare, beautiful and wide range of voice. He has mastered the vocal technique. The opera singer is happy to share his experience and knowledge with students of the Kazakh National University of Arts and his colleagues.
Конечно же, знакомство с Барсеком Робертовичем Туманяном большая удача.
Of course, knowing Barsek Tumanyan is a great success for my work. His advice and his work on stage are helpful. We gather with the whole team and observe his work. He has an amazing vocal technique and vocal cord. He's got a tremendous experience. A man of such skill works in our theater. I think this is one of the factors that make our theater truly international.
В нашем театре один из факторов, который делает наш театр поистине международным.
Astana Opera is the national pride of Kazakhstan. With its architectural elegance, the theater charms both artists and visitors. The theater is equipped with latest technologies. Barsek Tumanyan said that he was very interested in taking part in such a grand project. Today, he proudly tells everyone about Astana Opera.
У нас зритель уже другой. Мы подтягиваемся то же самое.
Our spectator is changing and we are catching up. People are dreaming of working here, and I have to say that world stars also want to work in our theater. I know the essence of Kazakh people. They are wonderful people.
Народ — это очень чудный народ, это прекрасные люди.
The opera singer said that the capital of Kazakhstan inspires him to new achievements. The artist has many plans. Barsek Tumanyan will delight the Kazakh audience with his performance scheduled in October. Visitors of the Astana Opera are waiting for the premiere of Don Carlos.